Hello YouTube! This is Chriz Maniac bringing you folks another Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire battle. And this battle is an Oreo match versus my rival, Ty5on. Now, this is a pretty long and drawn out match, that's why I didn't include the intro video for this battle. But this battle is still really epic, and every second of it is filled with like prediction and trying to figure out what your opponent's doing. So anyways, looking at my team, I have a Regeneration Core of Amoonguss and Slowking, plus 4 offensive Pokemon, including a Mega Banette. Looking at Ty5on's team, he has another Regeneration Core. That's why this battle is so stally, because of the Pokemon that keeps regenerating. And it looks like he has 4 random Pokemon in the middle, but they work out for his team pretty well. His team is pretty weak to hazards, but I don't have any hazards in my team unfortunately, so I couldn't set them up. In addition to being my rival, Ty5on's actually my fellow admin for this Facebook group that we're running. You can see where it is down in the description below. Anyways, I sent out my Amoonguss because I could put any one of his Pokemon to sleep, and I could threaten this Tangrowth out with a Sludge Bomb. Ty5on takes a risk and goes for the knockoff first turn in the battle when I could have Sludge Bombed him, but instead I go for a Toxic. And I go for Toxic because Tangrowth is a wall, and it would be nice to take this guy down with residual damage in the form of Toxic. So I'm pretty happy about the exchange. He knocked off my Black Sludge and I Toxic that Tangrowth. Now both of our lifespans are cut short, but even more so with him. Ty5on predicts my Sludge Bomb very nicely by bringing in his Dual Blade, and with that he can just go for a Shadow Claw just dealing damage to me. But I take that really comfortably. I can just heal this off with Regenerator when I switch out, because I am a fully invested physical wall. And I put this Dual Blade right to sleep, and that is great because Dual Blade is sort of a threat to my team. It's pretty dangerous. Anyways, I bring in my counter to this Dual Blade, and that is my Magmortar, and I'm gonna barbecue this blade with a Fire Blast or Flamethrower. I choose to have Flamethrower because I don't want to have misses in my Fire Blast. Anyways, in comes Speed King, which is a hilarious name for a Slowking. Anyways, I predict his Slowking to switch in, and I go for a Thunderbolt and deal a lot of damage to that Slowking. And that is great because this Slowking is one of his walls, and this Regeneration Pokemon kid just stomped me out a lot. Anyways, he goes for a Thunder Wave and he slows down my Magmortar, which is kind of okay, I guess. I can get fully paralyzed as well later on in the future. But I just want to knock out this Slowking, and Magmortar already has paid for himself in this battle. So he goes for that Slack Off, and I'm like, oh damn, I can't take this guy out. And he's going to rely on hacks to heal up fully, which would kind of suck. Anyways, I predict him to switch out into this Tangrowth because he was at low health, but instead, he just stays in with a Slowking and gets a Slack Off, pretty much for free. So that really sucks for me. Now he finally deals damage to my Magmortar. So I am fully paralyzed right here, and Hacks is not really looking well for me, even though I got a crit on that Flamethrower. That was pretty useless. So he goes for Scald once again, just almost knocking me out with 16 HP. And I go for a Thunderbolt one last time versus Speed King, bringing this Slowking to 2/3, or wait, 1/3 of its original HP after leftovers. So Slowking is looking like it's pretty comfortable right now. It has my Magmortar at 16 HP, and it's just healing off all the damage that I'm dealing to it. And this is looking really bad for my Magmortar. I go for Thunderbolt, just see spamming it, just praying for a piece of hacks on my side, like a crit or a paralysis. And he gets fully parried, but nope, that doesn't happen. And he just keeps spamming Slack Off. But Ty5on, him staying in here and just taking multiple Thunderbolts, he's just asking for some piece of hacks to like Fallen Slowking. And hopefully I'm gonna get that, and I actually do right here, which is a paralysis, and hopefully he gets fully paralyzed in the future. So it's just this Slowking versus my Magmortar, just keeps spamming Thunderbolt, and fortunately I don't get fully paralyzed, which is great, and his Slowking finally knocks out my Magmortar. Now this really sucks for me because my Magmortar is really important for taking out his Dual Blade and his Tangrowth, and later on I have lots of difficulty taking those two down. Now with my Magmortar out of the way, his Tangrowth and his Dual Blade can survive even longer. Anyways, Ty5on just leaves his Speed King in here as KO fodder for my Banette, and just kill him with a knockoff. And down goes Slowking, which is great. That's one of his walls out of the way. And in comes Tangrowth now, and Tangrowth looks like he could knock off me, my Banette, and that would do a lot to me, so I get out of there. I bring in Hemlock, which is my counter to this Tangrowth, and he does double switch, and then comes Spiritomb, and Spiritomb I'm fine with, that's pretty cool. This is another wall, I'm assuming. And I go for a Toxic right after his Spiritomb hits me off with a Will-O-Wisp. And now we both have residual damage on both of our teams right now. So right now this is the Battle of the Walls. We're just slowly killing each other. And by slowly, I mean slowly. Because we're not really doing that much damage to each other. Anyways, we both get damage from our Burn and Toxic, and now his Spiritomb switches out. And then comes Dual Blade. And Ty5on brings us in because he knows that Dual Blade is resistant to any one of my attacks, whether it be Giga Drain or Sludge Bomb. And they predict his Dual Blade to come in, by going for a Giga Drain instead of Sludge Bomb, but it doesn't really do much to him anyways. So I get out of here because I can't really do much to this sword, Dual Blade, and I bring in my Slowking, which is the second part of my regeneration core. I have Flamethrower in this guy, so Flamethrower will do a lot to this Dual Blade. But Ty5on brings in his Tangrowth for some weird reason. That's a kind of strange switch-in because I would go for Flamethrower in that case, or Fire Blast, and Fire Blast would really hurt this Tangrowth. It brings it down to like 1/4 of his HP after leftovers, and now his Tangrowth is almost down. And if it stays in for another turn, I can just KO it. But of course, he's a smart guy, and Ty5on is just gonna get back his health with regeneration. And he's not going to take that much damage from that, despite me dealing a lot of damage with my Fire Blast. So I switch out right here because he brought in his Tangrowth, and my counter to that would be my Amoonguss, but instead he brought in Delphox, and it looks like I'm not in a good position right here, so I get out of here right away. That was a good move by Ty5on, predicting my Amoonguss. Well, I assumed that it was. And I bring in my Slowking once again. He goes for Fire Blast, and that's not going to do much to me. I am a fully invested Special Wall to complement my Amoonguss, which is a fully invested physical wall. So these guys form a really unbreakable core bond defense versus anything that Ty5on would throw at me. So in comes Tangrowth once again. I'm assuming he does that because he wants to throw at me like some sort of grass type move, but I can take it any move unless it's a physical hit. And oh yeah, right, you can go for a knockoff. That's right. But I can just retaliate back with a Fire Blast, so I don't mind about staying in because this Tangrowth would die to Fire Blast if I hit it. Anyways, Ty5on withdraws his Tangrowth because he just wants to get his HP back with his Tangrowth, just get that HP back up from my Fire Blast earlier, and he's just predicting me I don't know, I can't find an analogy for that, but he's really outpredicting me because he just predicted my Fire Blast right there, thinking that I would go for Fire Blast versus his Tangrowth, and indeed I did. But yeah, it looks like I can resist any sort of move that this Delphox throws on me because it only has fire moves and psychic moves. If he had a move to hit me with, he would probably go for a Slower Beam if he held a Power Herb or a Shadow Ball, but he doesn't go for that, and I guess this is another set. I went for Fire Blast once again right there because I was predicting his Tangrowth to come in, but that's kind of a silly move for me because his Tangrowth is already at full HP right now, and he doesn't need to go in there for another regeneration. But that was a bad play by me, and Ty5on is really outplaying me and trying to get back into this match. So he keeps spamming Side Shocks versus me, and I go for Fire Blast once again, predicting his Amoonguss to come in. And I have very low amounts of Fire Blast right now because I didn't give this guy PP ups or anything like that. So I only have like one Fire Blast left, I believe. And I don't really have much to destroy that Tangrowth for now, which is kind of worrying because Tangrowth and Dual Blade would do a lot versus my team. Anyways, I go for Scald right here, knowing that he's gonna go for a Pursuit because it's good to do some damage before I actually just get KO'd. And Spiritomb just takes out my Slowking, which is my last hope or easy way to take out his Dual Blade and his Tangrowth, because they're weak to fire, and that's the only Pokemon, that's the last Pokemon I have fire type moves with. So the next million turns in this battle are gonna be very difficult for me. Anyways, my other hope for bringing down Dual Blade and Spiritomb is my Banette, because Banettes have what's it called? What's that move called again? Oh yeah, Destiny Bond, right? And when a Pokemon destroys you, when you just use Destiny Bond, then you take that Pokemon down with them. And that's exactly what I want Tangrowth to do right now. I want Tangrowth to go for a knockoff, knock me out, and I'm gonna take this guy out with Destiny Bond. And my plan is, I'm gonna sweep with my Kling Clang once his walls are weakened and that Tangrowth is out of the way. Anyways, this is a pretty solid part of the match because it's just me and Tyson doing like a deadly tango. I'm just asking him to attack me with his Tangrowth or his dual blade because I just want to knock him out with my Banette doing a Destiny Bond. But for now, I am just weakening his wall slowly, ever so slowly. It comes a bomb of snow. I just keep going for the Destiny Bond, just asking him to knock me out. But he's just stalling me out at this point. I have 10 Destiny Bonds, and I'm gonna eventually run out if I keep using them. So I have to use them carefully and properly. Anyways, right there, Tyson went for a knockoff, and that sucks because I could have went for a Destiny Bond there, but I didn't. I just switched out instead to my Amoonguss. So we're just both playing with fire right here. Actually, it's more like Tyson's playing with fire, and I have to make him attack my Banette. But right now, Tyson's playing incredibly patiently, which is something really hard to do versus a Banette. And that's just a testament to Tyson's skill. He's really good at Pokemon. Anyways, finally something happens in this battle. And right here, I make a really big gamble. I bring Microsoft right here, my Kling Klang, and hopefully he's going to stay asleep for a long amount of time so I can set up. But no, I got some damage off on me, and now the damage is very important in the future because my Kling Klang would need more HP in the future. Anyways, I'm forced shot into my Golbat because I don't want my Kling Klang dying just yet. Kling Klang is basically my ticket to victory. If Kling Klang goes down, then I lose this entire match. I have no way of getting past the rest of his Pokemon. Anyways, my Golbat's pretty useless for me in this part of the match. So I just deal damage at Dual Blade with Brave Bird because I know that Dual Blade is not gonna appreciate damage, and he can't really heal his damage up because he has Eviolite instead of Leftovers. So he goes for that Shadow Claw plus Shadow Snake combination and takes out my Golbat, and down goes Wayne, my Golbat. That's a reference to Batman, by the way, if you don't know, because Batman's real name is Bruce Wayne, I believe. Anyways, I bring in my Banette, and he is scared out by what's it called? A Destiny Bond, and he doesn't go for he doesn't attack me because he just wants to keep his Dual Blade alive for later, and that's exactly what I do. I go for Destiny Bond, and I become Spiritomb. This Spiritomb's almost down for the count, so I just go for Shadow Snake, just end this misery, and down goes Spiritomb. Now the Death Ball is dealing damage to his team finally, and hopefully I can take out either Dual Blade or Tangrowth so I can begin sweeping Tyson's team. Because once I get Shift Gear up, I can outspeed all his Pokemon. I can take out his Tangrowth, his Abomasnow, and his what's it called? His Dual Blade. All I need to do is just set up a Substitute. Substitute is gonna block off Sleep Powder, and it is going to protect me from Dual Blade Shadow Sneak. So that's all I need to do. I just need to get the Kling Klang behind the Substitute, then set up what's it called? Shift Gear. Anyways, that's another solid part of the match. I'm just trying to get Tyson to attack my Banette, but I think at this point I have like run out of Destiny Bonds, and that really sucks. I have 5 Destiny Bonds, I have 0 left now. So right now I'm just spamming Shadow Sneak, just trying to deal damage to Tyson before my Banette dies. And Tyson successfully dealt with my Banette through his incredible patience. Props to you, man, with that. Anyways, when it comes to the moment of truth, I bring in Microsoft, my Kling Klang, and hopefully with his half HP, I can have enough HP to take out the rest of his Pokemon. So I go for a Substitute, he goes for knockoff. That's not enough to take my Substitute out. And now it's successfully set up, what's it called? Shift Gear. I keep forgetting that. So I have +2 speed now, +1 attack, and hopefully I can take out the rest of Tyson's team. Because Microsoft is the last Pokemon in my team. So he goes for that knockoff once again, and he takes out my Substitute. And now that really sucks because now his Banette, I mean not Banette, but his Dual Blade could go for that Shadow Sneak and try to knock me out with that. So that was Tangrowth right there. And the only way for me to hit Dual Blade is to go for a Wild Charge, and if you didn't know, Wild Charge has Recoil, and Recoil would hurt your health. I would have less chance of winning this battle now. So that 11 HP kind of seals the deal for me because I can't get past this Abomasnow, and even then, after a crit, I can't knock out this Dual Blade, and I guess that's where I lose. If I didn't get that damage on the Kling Klang earlier with that Shadow Sneak, because that was useless damage right there, that wasn't damage I needed to take, then I might have potentially won this battle. Because if I had the opportunity to set up 2 Shift Gears, if I had full HP, I would have set his entire team, but nope, I couldn't do that. I could only set up one shift gear, and that means that I lose this battle versus his dual blade. So that was a very good battle, Tyson. That was very long, but also very intense. And as a result of Tyson's patience, he went out in the end versus my Bonnet, because he predicted every time correctly if I'm going to go for Dusty Bond or not. Anyways, folks, hope you enjoyed this battle. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you did, and I'll see you folks next time.